When the song finished, everyone hurried out into the large 2-story entry hall, crowding down the steps and peering over the railing to see below. The front door was opened with great ceremony by the Rutherford butler, letting the old year out and welcoming in the new. This was swiftly followed by the arrival of our cousin Rye, standing before the door with gifts tucked under his arms. A cheer went up at the sight of him, and he smiled rather shyly, unused to the attention. It was a nice change, as their usual first-footer, Jock, was quite the braggart, playing up the part for all it was worth. Uncle Andrew and Aunt Sarah stepped forward to invite Rye into their home, but as they did so, another figure appeared beyond Rye's shoulder. A hush fell over the assembly as the figure stepped forward into the light, showing us his bright red hair and coarse clothing splattered in mud, and a dark red substance I knew from experience must be blood. It was a young man, and his eyes were wide and very white in his grubby face. He moved forward, forcing Rye to shift to the side. Several people gasped as the red head crossed the threshold of Clintmain's hall at the same time or just a little before Rye's foot touched the marble floor of the entry. The hall began to buzz with murmurs of shock and dismay. A harmless tradition first footing might be, but most Scots were superstitious enough that they had no wish to test its validity. At least, not if they were given a choice. But it was too late. What was done was done. The suspicion was laid. Perhaps Rye's foot had crossed the threshold first, but perhaps it had not. But what if they crossed at the same exact time? The woman behind me wondered. What happens then? No one seemed to have an answer for her, but from the tense atmosphere that had suddenly spread over the hall, I knew no one believed the outcome could be good. "I maun speak with Lord Buchan," the young man gasped to Uncle Andrew. His chest rose and fell rapidly as he tried to catch his breath. He was less than 20 years of age, his body still awkward and coltish and extremely self-conscious. When he glanced up and realized the entrance hall was filled with people staring down at him, he flushed a fiery red that almost matched the hair on his head, and the blood splashed across his linen shirt. Worried the lad needed serious medical attention, I pushed past several of the people standing in front of me on the stairs, still flustered by the man's appearance. But as I got closer, I could see that most of the blood was dried, and from the quantity it was clearly not his own, or else he would not still be standing. Just as I was about to say something, Lord Buchan appeared out of the crowd to the left of the front door. "Willie, what is the meaning of this?" His eyes flicked up and down the young man's form. "What has happened?" The young manservant's name startled me for a moment, for I couldn't help but think of another Will, a friend who had died so recently, and so horrifically, but this Willie's words swiftly recalled me to the present. "It's Dodd," he replied with wide, haunted eyes. "He's dead."